Yeah. Hi guys, good morning. So hope it's audible, right? Hope it's you're able to see my screen as well. Can anyone confirm? Is it audible or able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Okay, yeah. So very good morning. So today, we are starting, we are giving a demo with the Selenium with Java. Okay, so we are starting the workshop and we are going to discuss what are all the concepts we are going to cover in this course. Okay, so first we will discuss it today and from tomorrow we'll start the demo session. Okay, so first thing is the course is with Selenium with Java. Okay, so what is this Selenium with Java? So you are making use of a Java language in order to work with the Selenium. Okay, so we can also work with the many other languages, right? In the market, we have many languages. Means Selenium supports multiple languages, not only with Java. Selenium supports with Python, C Sharp, Ruby, okay, and so on. But we are going to learn Selenium with Java. Okay. So in this course, first what we are going to cover as part of this course, first how we are starting. Okay. So we are dividing this course into two categories. Okay. So one is Java and one more is Selenium. Okay. So in this Java, okay, first thing is in this Java, what are all the concepts we are going to cover as part of this course. Okay, so as you all know, to work with the Selenium, we require some Java concepts. Okay, so what are the things we are going to cover as part of the Java learning? Okay, so first we are starting with the basics of Java. Okay, so first we are starting with the basics of Java. Okay, so what is this basics of Java? So what we need to know, what we need to learn as part of this basics of Java. Okay, so in this we are going to cover what is Java. Okay, so what is Java? Okay, so what do you mean by variables? And what do you mean by data types? So after learning variables and data types, what do you mean by operations in Java? Okay, operations in Java and control statements. Okay, so how do you control over the scenarios by using the control statements? Okay, so in Selenium, while we are working with the Selenium, we need to handle the multiple scenarios. Okay, so by the time we have to be aware of control statement knowledge. Okay, to handle the multiple scenarios with the say, for example, there is a scenario for the just assume that for the same state we have a two scenario. So how to achieve by making use of a control statement? Okay, so control statements. Strings in Java, strings and arrays concepts, and the very important topic, access modifier. Okay, access modifiers. So after covering all these basics topics, so this is all the basic topics. Okay. So once we have thorough with the basic concepts, then we are jumping into the hoops concept. Okay. Very important hoops concept. So what you are going to learn in the soap concepts. Okay. First thing. Okay. So advantage of hoops concept. Why we are going for the hoops concept. Then what is class and objects in Java. Then how to define the package, how to define the packages and how it is useful, and importance of this and super keyword. Okay, importance of this and super keywords, and important of static keyword, and method overloading and overriding. Okay, so method overloading and overriding, and after that, so something called as a polymorphism. So after learning the polymorphism, so then um, something called encapsulation, and abstract class declaration and implementation, interface, and final keyword. Okay, the use of final keyword and when we are using it. Okay, so as part of the hoops concept, we are going to cover all those things. Okay, so then after covering the hoops concepts, then we are jumping into the exception handling. Okay, because while you are working with the selenium, you may encounter many exceptions. Okay, you should be able to understand why we are getting this exception and how we can handle this exception. Okay, if you know, if you having a clear knowledge on it, then you'll be able to handle it. Okay. Mm. So in this exception handling, so what are the things you're going to learn? So what is exception? The first question is what is exception? And next question is what are types of exception? This is also interview question. What is exception? And what are the types of exceptions available? And how we will handle exception and handling of exception. We have many techniques to handle the exception. Finally, block. Then throw keyword. Throws keyword. Okay. So as part of the exception handling, you're going to learn all those concepts. Okay. So then finally, the very, very important concept, Java collection. Java collection framework. So in this, first you're going to learn. So what you're going to learn? Hierarchy. Hierarchy of collection. Then had a list. I'll just explain guys, okay? After writing all the things, I will just go through each and every topic again. Okay. Linked list and list interface. Hash map. Dash set, okay? Okay. So this is all the concepts of Java which is required to before learning the Selenium. Okay. So first we are starting with the basics of Java. So starting from what is variable and what is data types and how to define the variables and how to handle this data type. Okay. For each and every data we have a different data types, right? So if we are giving in a username, or if you're giving in a any company name, so we have to define those data with a string, and if you are defining any number you have to define it with the integer, okay, and so on. Okay, so for each and every data representation we have a different data type. Okay, so we should be able to understand for which type of a data we have to define which type of data. Okay, so then declaration of the variable. Okay, how to initialize the variable and how to assign the value to some variable. So you will be declaring the variable, for example, hint a, which means that a is the variable which is accepting the value of type integer. Okay, so that is the declaration. This is just declaration. So we are telling that a is the variable and it is accepting the value of integer. So this is a declaration. Okay, so initialization means we have to provide some value to this variable. So what type of value we have to provide? So we have to provide integer type of value for this. Okay, so all this. So how to declare the variable, how to initialize the variable, how to make use of a data type for different type of a data. So how to define this data type for by considering the value of the data. Okay, so after learning this, something called as a operations in Java. Okay, so we should be having all the basic knowledge thoroughly. It's like base pillars. These are all. Okay, because in while we are working in real time with the Selenium and all, we will be performing many actions, right? So maybe we are performing some addition operation, we are performing some division operation, and so on. Okay, so those are all the things comes under this operations in Java. So we should be able to understand how the operation concept is working in Java. So it is very easy you to apply those concepts in the Selenium. Okay, and control statements. Okay, if you have a different scenarios, or if you different conditions, how to handle that with the control statements. Okay, so completely learning like a if statement, else statement, if else, and nested if. Okay, so while statement. So how to work with all these statements will be learning you. Then something called as a string and arrays concept. Okay, so these are the basic data structures. So if you understand this, till this, remaining things are all very easy. Okay, these basics only we have to first understand properly. So then we are learning about the string and what is arrays, how to declare the array, how to initialize the array, then what is the advantages of using the array, and what is the disadvantage of using the arrays. So to overcome that disadvantage, so what are all the disadvantages we are facing in the arrays? To overcome from that, what are the new concepts we are introducing for the Java? So how to handle the disadvantage with the new concepts? Okay, then access modifier. So this is very important concept. Okay, to to have our classes, or to have our complete methods, whatever the methods we are handling, to visibility. So how extend it as to visible? If it is a public, it is available everywhere throughout the project. Okay, if it is a private, it is available for the particular class. Okay, and so on. If it is a default, how to handle that? If it is a protected, how to handle that? Okay, if the class is protected, if the method is protected, if the class is public, if the method is public, or if the class is private, or if the method is private, what are the different level of accessibility we have, visibility we have for the particular class and particular method. Okay, so when we declare the class as a public, okay, how extent we can make use of the class. If we declaring some method as a public, how extent we can make use of the class. What is the visibility of that particular class? What is the visibility of that particular method? Okay, so this basic concepts, what are the basic concepts we are including here? Very, very important. Okay, if you understand till this, then remaining things are not like a conceptual wise. Okay, this basics you should be very thorough with the basic concepts. After learning these basic things, then we are jumping into the hoops concepts. Okay, so in this hoops concepts we are learning advantages of hoops, why we are going with the hoops, and what are the advantages we have by making use of the hoops. Okay, then how to declare the class, how to create the object with that class. Okay, and something that is a packages, why we have to create the package, different packages, and how it is useful. Then importance of this keyword and super keyword. Okay, then static keyword, important of static keyword. So this super and static, so these are the three keywords are very important while we are working. Okay, and polymorphism concept. So what is polymorphism, how we can achieve this polymorphism, and what are the advantage of this polymorphism. Okay, and something called as an encapsulation. So what is encapsulation, how it is useful, and how we can achieve the encapsulation in our project. Okay, and where we are using this hoops concepts in the selenium. So where we are using this polymorphism, where we are using this encapsulation, and where we are using inheritance. Okay, sorry, I forgot to write inheritance. Okay, this is also very important topic. So where we are using this inheritance, and how to define the abstract class, what is the advantage of defining something as an abstract class, and what is a interface, and how to declare as a final keyword, and how to work with the final keyword, and why we are using the final keyword. Okay, so after learning all the hoops concepts, then we are jumping into the exception handling. So what is exception? Okay, the first question is what is exception. So what are the types of exception we have, and how to handle this exception whenever we are encountering with some exception while we are working, how to handle those kind of exception. Okay, so what is finally block, what is throw, what is throws. Okay, so if we cover all this exception handling, then we are jumping into the collection part. Okay, very, very important topic. Okay, so if you are attending the Selenium with Java interview, the first question they are going to ask from the collection only. If you are thorough with the collection, then okay, then they will start asking remaining question, because very, very important concept for the Selenium. Okay, so in order to learn the Selenium, you have to be very clear with the collection topic. Okay, so Java collection framework. So first we are going with we are trying to understand the hierarchy of the collection framework. In that we have many interfaces, okay, but we are going to learn what are the important topics we require. Okay, so one is array list, one is released, and ASHM and ASHSET. Okay, so these are the very important interfaces that we need to know before working with the Selenium. Okay, we have many interfaces in that. We have many interfaces and classes, but instead of learning all the things, the main thing which is required for us to work with the Selenium, that we are going to cover it. Okay, so this is all about a Java that we are going to cover in this course. Okay, so when it comes to Selenium, again we have a three chapters there. Okay, I'm dividing Selenium into three chapters. Okay, so here, okay, so we are dividing Selenium into, okay, so we are dividing Selenium into three chapters. Okay, okay, the first thing now. Okay, so what we are going to cover in the first chapter. Okay, so what we are going to cover in the first chapter. Chapter 1. In chapter 1. Okay, so we are learning about introduction to Selenium. Okay, introduction to Selenium. Okay, and in next chapter, in chapter 2. In chapter 2, so what we are learning, handling the elements. Handling of elements. Okay, this is the chapter 2. And then chapter 3. So we're learning tools knowledge. Okay. Then let's divide one more. Chapter 4. Okay. So chapter 4 is nothing but it's all about project. Yeah. So now, so we are dividing Selenium into four chapters. Okay. So one is chapter 1, introduction to the Selenium, and chapter 2, handling of elements, and chapter 3, all the tools that we are going to integrate with our Selenium. Then finally, chapter 4, it's all about project. Okay. So now, as part of the chapter 1, so what are the things we are going to learn? Okay, so that's the question, right? So what we are going to learn in this chapter 1. Okay, so in this chapter 1, first we are starting with the Selenium introduction. Okay, so first here we are starting with the Selenium introduction. Okay, so after covering the Selenium introduction, then we are discussing Selenium architecture. Then after installation and setup. Okay, so after installation and setup, so we are discussing about the set property. Okay, so we're discussing about the set property. Okay, so after the set property, launch of the browser. So how to launch the browser in Selenium? Okay, so first I will write all the topics that we are going to cover. Then I will just explain. I will just give an overview on it. Okay, browsers and understanding the class diagram of WebDriver and methods of understanding the methods of WebDrivers and understanding the HTML DOM structure and understanding the locators and the very important thing after completing the locators part, then performing the login scenario. Okay, this is very important interview question. Perform the even if you are a fresher, even if you are an experienced candidate, this is the first question they're going to ask if you're attending the Selenium interview. Okay, so perform the login scenario with validation. So then something called as a web elements topics, web elements, then synchronization. Okay, so first, as part of this, chapter one. Okay. So as part of the chapter one, so first we're starting with the selenium introduction. So what is selenium? So how to make use of the selenium? How it is useful? So why we have to go for the selenium? Okay. So then selenium architecture. So first understanding the selenium architecture, how it is defined. Okay. Then installation and setup. We have to install the selenium plugin and all, right? So we have to perform this installation setup. Then what is the importance of a set property? Okay, so then how to launch the browsers? Means we have a different browser. We have a Chrome browser, we have a Firefox, we have a Microsoft Edge, okay, etc. So how to launch that browser with the help of the Selenium? So now we should not include any manual efforts, right? Everything has to happen automatically. So how we can launch the browser with the help of the Selenium? Okay, so then after learning this, then understanding the class diagram of the WebDriver. First, we will start understanding the class diagram of the WebDriver. So then, understanding the methods of the WebDriver. So, what are the methods is available inside the WebDriver? Okay. So then, HTML DOM structure. Understanding the HTML DOM structure. Then learning about the locators. So here I'm just giving a headlines of the topic. Okay. In this, there are many subtopics are available, but which I am not specifying here. Okay, so if you come to the locators, we have a different types of locators. We have totally 8 types of locators. Okay, so we will be working each and every type of locators, and we will be using all the locators based upon the scenario. Okay, based upon the elements which is available in our structure, in our HTML structure, we will be making use of it. Okay, then performing the login scenario will after covering all the locators concept will perform on login scenario here. Okay, so then understanding the web elements, how the web elements are useful and how we can identify the web elements and what are the methods which is available in this, and synchronization. Okay, so synchronization is nothing but working with the speed. Okay, so we are checking, we are checking whether our selenium, our application is matching with our selenium speed or not. Okay, this is what synchronization concept. Okay, how we can achieve the synchronization whenever we are facing a synchronization issue while we are working with the application, how we can handle that with the synchronization. Okay, so after covering the basic concepts of the selenium, then we are joining to the handling of elements. Okay, so handling of elements means if you can open any of the application, you will be having a many elements, right? So elements is nothing but the elements, the future which is available on the web application. Okay, so how to handle that elements? For example, you will be having a scroll bar, you'll be having a drop downs, you'll be having a checkbox. Okay, so on. So how to handle those elements with the selenium? Okay, so first thing is, in this, learning about the auto suggestions. So auto suggestion. So what is this auto suggestion? When you are opening the browser, when you are searching for something, okay? If you are if you just typing it as a Selenium, it will open list of options, right? It will give you list of auto suggestion like Selenium with Java, Selenium with Python, Selenium with C Sharp. It just give you the suggestion. So how to handle that suggestion? Something, we'll be having a drop downs, how to handle the drop downs with the selenium. Then we'll be having a overview actions, so how to handle that with the mouse over concept. Okay, then we'll be having a drag and drop, right? So we'll be having a drag and drop on the application, so how to handle that? So how to perform the right click and how to perform the double click and how to perform the context menu and how to perform the sliders. Basically, what are all the elements you can see in the application? Okay, everything you should be able to handle with the help of the Selenium. Scroll bar, how to handle the scroll bar, and how to handle the frames. Okay, so after learning all this, learning about the pop-ups. Okay, so we have a alert pop-up. So we have a notifications. We have a file upload concept, file upload and file download, upload and download. Okay. And we have a hidden division pop-up. We have a child browser pop-up. And screenshots, how to take a screenshots. And how to work with the keyboard functions. Okay, keyboard functions. Okay. This is all the things that we are covering as part of the handling elements. Okay, so basically what are the elements which we can see in our application that should be able to handle? There's some scenario, right? So selecting the product, selecting the if you open the launch the Amazon, and after launching the Amazon, you have to select the drop down, and you have to select the value in the drop down. Then after selecting the values, that you have to give it to the add to cart. Then you have to click on the item, you have to click on the increase the item value in that. Then you have to click on the more like button like proceed with the payment. Then you have to proceed with the payment. Then you have to begin the checkout. So all this action you have to do means you should be able to understand how we need to handle the elements which is available in the application. Okay. So this elements how to handle with all those things will be learning you all the elements. Okay. So then when it comes to chapter 3, so data driven, okay, it's like advanced concepts in the chapter 3. So data driven. So data driven with the one is with the Excel and another one is with the property file. Okay. So one is with the Excel and another is the property file. And after the data driven, page object model concept and test engine concepts. Okay. So in the chapter 3, we are covering all the advanced concepts. Okay. So data driven and how to handle the data driven with the Excel and property file. Then handling, a page object model. Then how to work with the test engine. So just, I'm giving a main header name, okay, but sub headers I'm not specifying here, subtopics I'm not specifying. Okay, we'll be having a under the test engine also we'll be having a many subtopics. Okay, so we'll be covering all the advanced topics in the chapter 3. Okay, so then when it comes to the project, okay, so when it comes to the project, working with the Maven project, understanding the Maven and working with the Maven project. Okay, and understanding the project structure in it, and designing and implementing, and then finally execution. Okay, end-to-end flow we will be doing here. So line, GitHub, then Jenkins. Okay. Okay, so this is all the things planning to cover as part of the project. First, project means, so we'll be understanding the Maven project, how the Maven project structure will look like, and creating the project in the Maven approach. Okay, so then what are the advantages of Maven project, and how to handle this Maven project, all those things will be learning. Then we'll be starting with the design phase. Okay, so design phase means in this all the framework, so including from the key driven, data driven, so we'll be learning about the cucumber as well here. Okay. So implementing the project with the cucumber approach. So first we will be designing, then we are implementing, then we are performing the execution. Okay. So then we are integrating the framework with the GitHub, then in the Jenkins, then in a CI/CD CD2. Okay. So for example, this is so suppose this is our framework, this is our project, this is our GitHub, then this is my Jenkins. Okay, so execution should start like this. So my project to GitHub, then GitHub to Jenkins. Okay, so this is my project and this is my GitHub, this is my Jenkins. Okay, yeah. So this is all the concept that we are going to cover as part of the Selenium. First, starting with the introduction, starting with the basic, level of Selenium, then we are going up to the project implementation. Okay, starting from the scratch and covering till the advanced concepts. So in this completely in chapter 2, completely handling about the elements, Basically, what are all the elements which is you can see, you know, which we can see on the application. We'll be covering all the elements handling. Then we are going with the data driven concept, that is one with the Excel and another one with the property file. Then we are covering the page object model. Then we are going with the testing. Okay, so after covering all this advanced concept, then we are finally jumping with the uh, project. Okay, that we are handling with the Maven project. So any doubt with respect to the content cover?
No, ma'am.
Mhm. Okay. So any doubt with respect to the content that we are covering for this? Understood? So these are all the concepts that we are going to cover as part of the Selenium and Java. Okay. So now the question is, why we need to go for the Selenium? We already have a manual testing, right? So we already have a manual testing, and we are performing all that. We can also perform our testing thoroughly with the help of the manual testing as well, right? So we can perform all the functionality testing. So with, for example, here, okay, double click action is there, okay, whether button is double click is happening or not. We can also go and we can also launch the application. We can check over there, right, by checking, double clicking on the button, whether it is happening or not. We can check there also, right? Why we have to go with the Selenium concept again? why we are going why we are going with the Selenium? Why can't we make use of a manual only for all the sections? Hmm? What's the necessity of going with the Selenium? Mm-hmm. Why we are going? Am I audible? Am I audible, guys?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah. Okay. So why we are going with the Selenium?
I think doing the testing activity automatically
Uh-huh.
instead of doing manually. Ma'am, you are not audible.
Yeah, no, it's audible, right?
Yes, ma'am. Now it's audible.
Yeah, okay. So, so what's happening here? So one of my friend is there in the Hyderabad and I'm in the Bangalore and she's requesting, for some money. So what's I'm doing here? So I'm going to give her money for her. I'm going from Bangalore to here. Okay, maybe she's requesting for the 2K. She's requesting for the 2K here. Okay, so to give that money, what I'm doing, I'm going from Bangalore to Hyderabad. Okay, so Bangalore to Hyderabad. Then I'm spending some amount to reach to the Hyderabad here, right? So I'm spending some amount to reach to Hyderabad and I'm going it here. Okay, so to going a Bangalore to Hyderabad only, I'm spending. Just assume spending 1,500 rupees. Okay, so what's happening here? So traveling from Bangalore to Hyderabad to give a 2K for her, okay, I'm spending a 1,500 rupees here. Okay, which means that it's like a manual process. Okay, instead of performing the automation, so what I'm doing, I'm traveling from Bangalore to Hyderabad to give her the 2K, means 2,000 for her. For this, I'm spending 1,500 rupees. Okay, so what's happening here? So instead of this traveling from Bangalore to Hyderabad, okay, if I would have made use of okay, what is the other approach I can do here? What is the other approach I can do whenever someone is requesting a amount? We can also make use of GPay, Phone Pay, all those things, right? If I make use of that, within a 10 second, I can transfer the amount for them, correct? So in this way, so what's happening here? When I am involving with the manual approach, traveling from Bangalore to Hyderabad, and to give her the 2K, 2,000 amount for her, it's completely a time wasting process. My time is also wasted here, my amount is also wasted here, and I am also tired, right, by traveling from here to here. So what's happening here, resource utilization is also not effectively we are not using, and we are also spending the amount. Okay, so time is also waste. Okay, instead of this, what we can do, we can make use of a automation. Okay, instead of this, we can make use of automation to achieve the task and to use the resources effectively. Okay, so instead of this, going with a manual approach, traveling from Bangalore to Hyderabad to to fulfill the requirement that our friend is asking. So instead of that, if I make use of a phone pay or Google Pay or any other payment gateway, so within a fraction of second, I will be transferring a amount for her, right? And also my 1,500 will also be saved. Okay, so which means that whenever we are going with the manual process, so time will also will waste. Okay, and resource utilization will also not happen effectively, and also there may be a chance that we will be spending the much amount in order to achieve the particular task. Okay, so to reduce all these things, we have to go with the automation. Okay, so to reduce all these things and to effectively handle the process, okay, to effectively handle the process, we have to go with the automation. So here only you can just imagine the basic example. Instead of traveling from the Bangalore to Hyderabad, if I would have used your phone pay or Google Pay, let's say suppose phone pay and Google Pay is the automation here. Within a 10 second, our requirement will also be fulfilled, and my amount will also be saved. Whatever the amount I'm spending to travel from year to year will also be saved. Correct? So this is how automation is useful. Okay. So whenever we are going with a manual approach, we have to spend a lot. Okay. For example, here 10 test cases are there. If we are executing with the Selenium, one resource is enough to execute all the 10 test cases. Maybe if we are going with the manual, maybe two resources is required to achieve that task. Okay, so in this case, so we are saving the, if we are adopting the automation of Selenium, we are saving a cost here. Okay, project cost also be reduced, and we will be making use of a resource effectively. Okay, maybe in in one resource place, here we will be in the manual approach, we will be using the two resources. But in the Selenium, in the automation, what happens? One resource is enough to handle the whatever the two resource was handling with the manual approach. Okay, so this is the basic example why we are going with the Selenium. Understood this example? Understood? So why we
Yes,
are going
ma'am.
with the okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So so from tomorrow, we will be start understanding, different advantages. What are the advantages we are having with the Selenium, and how you can overcome with the manual approach. But ultimately, 100% automation is not possible. That is a different case that I will be explaining. Going further. Okay. So somewhere we require a manual as well, but if we adopt the Selenium, at least we will be reducing all these cost cutoffs. Okay, so that's why in industry nowadays the Selenium is booming. Why? Because of all this advantage. Okay, and also we can achieve the task much effectively within a shorter time, right? See, to if so for example, just understand this general example. If someone is requesting some amount, to give that amount itself, we have to travel from Bangalore to Hyderabad. Means I'm not sure, maybe 250 kilometer, I guess, maybe more than that. Sorry, I don't know exactly. Okay, so from I have to to reach that amount only. Maybe it will take one day here. So with the help of this our payment gateway like a phone pay or Google Pay, within a 10-second the task will be completed. So whatever the 10 seconds the task, here it is taking a complete one day, 24 hours. Okay, so huge difference, right? The same concept will be applicable here as well. To execute the 10 test cases, maybe it is taking a half an hour of time, sorry, 1 hour of time with respect to manual. But in the Selenium, within 15 minutes of all the test cases, whatever the count will be available, will be can be able to execute. Okay. So whenever we have a revision shoot run and all, so if you can, sitting and keep on executing manually means it will take a lot of time because we will be performing revision with the entire application. So but with the Selenium, we can get it, within a fraction of second, all the results. Okay. So that's why jumping to the Selenium is very important. Okay. Yeah. So any issues with respect to the course content that we are covering? So project will be Cucumber. Okay. So other framework will also be discussing like a key, data driven, key driven, okay, hybrid. All the things will be discussing. But finally we will be also be covering the Cucumber framework as well. Okay. Because considering current market, all the organization is preferring for the BDD approach of handling the projects, right? Means Cucumber project only everyone are preferring. So by considering that, we'll be handling the Cucumber here. Okay. Okay. Any doubts? So this is like we are planning for the weekend class, guys. Okay. Saturday and Sunday will be the class, and 7:30 to 8:30. Timing will be 7:30 to 8:30. Okay, and remaining information under maybe you know uh, management will be giving you the details.
Ma'am, classes for 1 hour for everything.
Sorry, as for
Classes for every session is for 1 hour on everything.
no, your classes will be like 2 hours. I'm very sorry, yeah, 2 hours it will be. Okay, means by completing two weekends, it is like a 4 hours we will be completing. It's a weekend session, right? We are planning for the weekend session. So Saturday will be 2 hours and Sunday will be 2 hours. Any questions, guys? Any questions
And
or any
ma'am, duration
doubts?
of this course, ma'am.
Mhm.
Duration of this course, ma'am.
Postman,
2 months.
you're asking about the API testing?
No,
He is
no.
asking
Duration
ma'am
of this course.
duration.
Can you be a little louder?
Ma'am, he is asking about duration. It is with 8 weekends.
So
No, you are saying.
yeah, okay, duration, yeah. So duration will be, we are planning for the 8 weekends. Okay, it means like, it will come around 2 months.
Okay.
Okay, so 2 months duration it will be. So maybe in the chat they was given right all the information. See, yeah, 7:30 is the starting time, starting from 11th. Yeah, okay, and 8 weekends batch. Okay. Hmm. So Saturday and Sunday, 8 weekend batch. Hmm. Anything else, guys? Anything else? You need
Ma'am,
confirmation?
ma'am,
Hmm.
for this course you are going to give all notes related to those topics.
Yes, yeah. All the notes will be given.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Ma'am,
Already.
for
We have a
Java,
ready material already. If you guys requirements initially only we will forward that to you. Or else after completing each and every topic, I will be segregating that and I will be sharing. Yeah, someone is asking something. Sorry.
yes, ma'am. For Java, there is a means like in Selenium, we have to build up logic for as a program point of view. Program.
Uh-huh. Yeah. For the Java,
For the Java, we have to use this concept, or we have also need to build a logic like to write programs.
yes, means you're asking like Java we need to learn like that.
Yeah, means like it is need to build up the logic like to run programs. Means like there is a logical programming where in Java.
In Selenium.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we will be see. That's why first we will be learning a Java. See, before learning the Selenium, we have to be very clear with the logics of the Java. Okay, because while we are working in the Selenium, we will be coming across many scenarios. Okay, where we need to apply all the logics of the Java in order to achieve that. Okay, so we should be able to understand which logic will be suitable for this which scenario. Okay, so we have to learn all the logics of Java. So first we have to learn thorough Java, then only we have to jump with the Selenium. The Selenium is like it's a library. Okay, so if you are thorough with the Java, then learning that library concept is that is not much difficulty for you guys. Okay, so you have to be very clear with the Java concept first. Okay, so because Selenium is a library means all the methods, classes, everything will be available inside that library only. They already predefined all those things. Okay, if I can show you the web diagram, architecture of the Selenium or um, methods which is available inside the Selenium, maybe you will understand this. Okay, so it is like already they defined. We just have to make use of that classes and method which is available in that library. Okay, so that is not much big rocket science to understand. Actually, it's a very easy. Selenium is very easy. The only thing is you should be having a very good basic knowledge on the Java. Okay, so if you're thorough with the Java concept and the logic that you're going to apply for the on the Java, it's very easy to adopt Selenium. Okay, so you have to keep on practicing the logic of the Java. What about agile methodology? I'm very sorry, I missed to specify it, right? So, guys, you know what's happening? So you are learning the course, and you are, you are learning the framework, and you are working with the project. That is all fine, okay? But most of the people will be scaling. Maybe some people are jumping from non-IT to IT, or some people were worked in some other technology, means other methodology like waterfall and some other thing, okay? But nowadays, what's happening when you are giving an interview, all the organization are required, who is having a knowledge on the agile methodology. Okay, so everyone are preferring the candidate should be having a knowledge on the agile methodology. So then only they are preferring that candidate. Okay, so what we are doing here is while we are working with the project, okay, so I will be including the agile methodology concept. Okay, means in real time how exactly the agile methodology works. So what I'm doing is, so anyhow we will be having a all the folks here, right? So we will be dividing them into a different group, okay, in order to demonstrate how agile methodology is working in real time. Okay, so we will be grouping, maybe one or two group will make, and I will define how agile methodology will be, and how developers will be there in that, how scrum master will be there in that, or how project manager will be there, and how test engineers will be there in that. So we will be schedule up meetings for that to demonstrate that. Okay, we will be dividing folks into different groups. So we will be demonstrating the agile methodology, like inside the agile methodology, completely scrum process, how scrum process works. Okay, how scrum meeting every day happens inside the organization. Some of you may be working in the same process, or some of you are not working, but some of you are not working, maybe for them it's very much required, because each and every company or asking the knowledge on the agile methodology. Okay, so we will be creating the group, and we will be demonstrating that, like how in real time how it works. The same way we'll be demonstrating here, okay, to get you the exposure on the real time how it works. Okay, and also after completing the chapter 1 and chapter 2, we'll take a mock session for each and every folks who is attending for the session. We'll have a mock session. Okay, so we'll do the mock session, and after you're thorough with the chapter 1 and chapter 2, then we are jumping into the advanced concept. That is chapter 3. Okay, so then we are going with the advanced concept, that is chapter 3. So before going to the advanced concept, first we will be thorough with the till chapter 2, means still web element handling. Okay, if you're thorough with that, then in the project and in the advanced session, what happens in the advanced concept, okay, we'll be learning some advanced concepts over there. But in the project, when it comes to the project, so whatever all you learn till the chapter 3, you have to handle all those concepts, you have to combine all those concepts in the project. Okay, so we will be having a mock session also. Okay, we will be conducting a two mock session in between. Okay, I will only just schedule the timing for you guys, and I will be calling you, to have some question, or it's like interview. Okay, it's like interview, someone is calling you and taking you the online interview. That's it. Okay. Anything else? Automate test cases and avoid manual testing. Testing improves accuracy. Yes, you are correct, Ritesh. Okay, you're correct. What about agile methodology? Maybe I've explained, right? So this is how we are planning for this. Okay, agile methodology, complete Scrum process will be explaining. So if you are going as an experienced candidate, you can also put it in your resume saying you worked in the agile methodology. Okay, you worked in the agile methodology, and yeah, you explain the project with respect to the agile methodology, how you work, because the same way we are working here while we are working with the project. Consider you are inside the organization for the 2 months. Okay, so you are inside the organization for the 2 months. At the end of this course, you will be working in the project where we are adopting the agile methodology. Okay, consider and have that in your mind, and start giving the interview after the 2 months. Anything else? Any doubts? Any doubts with respect to the batch, or with respect to timing? So we'll have this weekend, okay? So we'll have a session on the weekends, 2 hours maximum, 2 to 2 hours, okay? If you guys are okay to extend for some time, then we can see later, okay? But now, as of now, the plan is for 2 hours. Okay, so like by end of the each and every week it will be like a 4 hour session should be completed, and you will be having a time till next coming Saturday, right? So you just prepare on each and everything, and in the middle if you have any doubts and all, we'll be giving any assistance, okay? We'll be having a WhatsApp group, so in that we will be communicating. If you have any issues, so just ping me there, okay? Anything else, guys? Have any doubts? If you have any doubts later also, you can just call the management and inform my name. They will connect with me, okay? Then you can ask. Anything else or we'll wind up? Everyone are busy with the weekend's plan, I guess, right?